¿Qué pasó, mi gente hermosa de Sueñas sin Límites? Y bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio. Como ustedes ya saben, hace un par de meses hice mi primera entrevista en inglés y así que hoy voy a hablar también en a little bit of Spanglish y voy a hablarle un poquito acerca de mi próximo invitado. So, a partir de ahorita voy a empezar a hablar en inglés just to celebrate and inspire us to give believing in the impossible. Today, we're joined by a guest who represents the new generation of creators, authentic, creative, bold, and backed by the thousands of loyal followers. From your phone screen straight to your heart, here it comes TikToker that I always watching every day. So please welcome Matthew.
Thank you. Un poquito habla español.
Un poquito.
Un poquito, mi hermano, ayúdame. How are you doing?
We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you today.
First podcast ever, but it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it was. We were talking about a few weeks ago about the podcast, and you was telling me that you are excited today because it's the first podcast. So how you feel in the first minutes?
First podcast, I've always never had a problem not being able to over talk and just. I get things I care about, I could talk about forever, and people with similar interests as far as mindsets and determination and goals and just ambitious people. I love to pick their brains, whether it's in any, we're all good at something, right? We all have a hidden talent in something. And I think the more people you know and more connections you make really does bring a lot of value and like substance to your life. So I could talk all day. But I'd be lying if I said first podcast doesn't have me like a little nervous. And it's weird because I do. I'm in front of
a camera.
I talk all day, but it's cool. It's going to be cool.
Yes, for the people that we always want to, want to try or speak like every single day with too many people. I think it's pretty much easy when you are like behind on the screen. But
right.
now it's normal, like to feel a few nervous. I'm gonna start with the first question that I always ask to my guests here. And when you were a kid, you always imagine yourself like doing this on social media, or at that time you think, I'm gonna be a pilot, a lawyer?
No, great question. Funny story. When I having divorced parents since the age of 2.5, I lived everywhere. I lived with the grandparents, lived with the dad a little bit, mainly mom. It started off. I'll make it long story short, but it started off as a truck driver because my grandma's boyfriend that I was around a lot was a truck driver, and I was like, I'm gonna be a truck driver. And then I got a little older and I fell in love with sports, so I wanted to do like broadcasting and like actually doing communications, like broadcasting a football or a basketball game, a sport I'm very interested in. And then I would say junior year of high school is I wouldn't even say I saw potential in social media for me to do something. I think a lot of people who do something as far as influencers or brand or live streaming, they just started doing it because they liked picking up a camera and they thought it was cool to edit videos, post videos, and make some kind of content with some kind of value, whether it's to make you laugh, inspire, etc. So I was just really big in the gym. That was like my main priority and focus and passion for about 7 years, and still is, but it's taken a little bit of a backseat. I love me some golf now, not gonna lie, I love my golf. Crazy how that works. But yeah, just picking up a camera, I started posting every day on pretty much all the main platforms. Set up my dad's Facebook account and his MySpace and his dating apps for him. But I always just enjoyed social media. And yeah, I mean, just it transitioned a lot as far as the main first dream jobs or things I wanted to do. But as soon as I did discover social media and posting, that is something that has stuck with me since I discovered it, for sure.
Yes, and how would you describe yourself as, of social media? Who's Matthew without TikTok? Like in your regular day, single day, like when you're not on the screen, and you always say it to us, because I'm one of the followers that I always watching. And what do you do, in your normal day?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Ironically, I have found, as Alberto said, like finding TikTok live streaming and always posting on all apps, discovering how it can be made into a career. And yes, it can be made into a career, but the main thing is, just like anything, consistency at anything, but the big thing I learned is you have to have passion for it. Like anything else, whether you're working with brands, you want your own, or you want to go be a doctor like yourself that you told me. That's pretty cool. I definitely would never be a doctor because I don't have the brain power for that. But no, I would just say you have to be consistent, right?
Yes, exactly.
But anyone could have the looks, know how to talk, and go on TikTok Live and make some money, right? But I tell the people that watch me this, I tell everyone that watches, it is so easy to see through true colors after, whether it's a week, a couple months, like hanging out with a room of people. You are either that type of person who loves and embraces that energy, like, you know, bringing a group of people together and leading that group in a way, but, you know, it's so many different personalities. So I truly enjoy the opportunity to get to meet people in all walks of life through this cool thing on TikTok Live, because it doesn't matter where in the world you are, everyone is one click away, and that's the beauty of it. And I don't even remember what the question was. I'm deterring, but like,
no, how was your regular day without TikTok?
Regular day without TikTok. Sorry, I'm very passionate about my TikTok Live.
It's okay.
I am. Honestly, I put my heart and soul into TikTok Live when I'm not streaming, which is 7 days a week, usually 6 hours a day. I relax. Like, I am a very high energy person for people that I want to put my energy into, and then when I'm not doing streaming, I am a very relaxed person, to be completely honest. I've always been go, 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 but now that I've found an avenue that I really like, when I'm not doing that, I'm very relaxed. So yeah, like I said, golf, taking care of your body. So I always like to encourage people to do something. You don't have to be a gym rat and, you know, get huge, but do something that makes you sweat every day. Do something that makes you feel good every day, as in get your heart rate up, because every time we do something beneficial for our bodies, it releases those endorphins. It makes you happier. It makes you have the energy. It makes you, you know, for me, it makes me at my best version when I'm streaming. It makes me the best version for my friends, my family. So I'm taking care of myself in the gym, and then I pride myself on golf is like my release. So once or twice a week, getting out in the fresh air, it's almost meditative to me at this point.
It's like for the example, when you're saying like the person that always have like too much energy is like canalize that energy, you know, for with the sport like gym or the golf bar. So do you remember the first video that you posted on the social media, and how you feel like when you fit in and the publishing after that?
First thing I ever posted, I think, was that shout out to Club Fitness in Chicopee, Massachusetts. It was when I first became a gym rat. Yeah, it was just the typical guy taking a mirror selfie, but posting something motivational with it, because I discovered someone who was also on social media that was really big in the fitness scene, Christian Guzman. He was a big inspiration to me, and now he, you know, monetized all of his platforms into, you know, a gym and brands and so many partnerships. But just posting, it was a motivational gym post. Nothing crazy going on in a dirty gym mirror, and I was just trying to show people my progress, like a lot of people's fitness journey starts.
And you know, when you're trying, like you start posting your first videos, you know, with the gym and everything like that, how your videos became at the new part of like with all the streaming, like, you know, doing battles with random people, after that you're going to be connected or something like that, like was you saying before about the part that people you know, always trying to reach out on the social media. And it's, I think for me, because sometimes I try, you know, to do like TikTok Live, and I feel sometimes it's hard, you know, to connect with like a community or something like that, because if you don't have like the consistency, you know, every single day, or like streaming like you do, it's hard, you know, to do it like on a few days in a row.
Yeah, I would say one thing I love about live streaming and having a passion for bringing people together, number one, is that tomorrow's never promised, right? And there's nothing you can fake or you can cheat, because there's no cuts, there's no edits, so people are obviously seeing your authentic self. And I would just say, like, people dedicate their time, their personality, their wanting and willingness to get to know me. they are one swipe away, they are one click away from there's a bunch of amazing personalities, right? You have an awesome podcast that people relate to, but if you're not posting your podcast consistently, they'll watch someone else's more than yours. So with all the time and energy that people give me, I just know I owe them that responsibility to give it to them back. And I don't ever, you see other streamers and stuff, I don't compare, I don't want to be like any of them, but I do want to know that I gave like my people all of the best quality time I could have given them. As in, when I'm at my best version of myself and the longest amount of time I think I can be at that, I'm committing that to them, because they're not only committing their time and willingness to know me, they're literally supporting me with their hard-earned money at the end of the day. Like, it's an insane thing to think about, and I don't know. Sometimes I think I wrap my head around it and how it all works, but sometimes I try and think like, if you have a Netflix subscription, or we all pay for things subscription-based to support just something that's on regular TV. We all have a $10 a month subscription, etc. And people, I don't know, man, just at the end of the day, being a genuine human being and caring how they're doing, because you never know what someone's going through. And the beautiful thing, there's a lot of negativity on the internet, because we can hide behind a screen and talk bad about each other, and you can't do anything to my face. And then there's also, you might, for example, some people have lost their family, not as been close to their family, lost their loved ones, worked so hard that they don't have time to interact with people on a day-to-day basis. So this is an outlet. It's like a safe place for them. So I pride myself on that, and in my head, I guess I just believe that being a genuine human being, and they'll support that any way they can. And that's what they hopefully see in me, because at the end of the day, live streaming is not perfect, but I've always been like true to myself and giving them who I am.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility with what you share, like knowing so many people following you, or it's just like, like a regular day, or you have the things that you were saying to me before about, create a community? You feel like kind of responsibility what you try to tell the persons, like watching you every single day?
I do feel there's a lot of responsibility, and I try to share the most of every day-to-day life, whether it's something that's, a problem I had to solve, or a goal I want to achieve, or whether it's as simple as what I did when I woke up, almost like a podcast that's never ending. And ultimately, the responsibility I feel is just, I try to get as close to those people as humanly possible. And them feel like, because if I open up and give them all of me, to the best of my ability, it will let them feel comfortable to be like, hey, I can explain what's going well, what I have a question on, what I'm worried about. Just being responsible enough to give them as much of me as I can, so they can be as comfortable to share as much about them as they want to with me. And that is the whole idea of the community. And people like community. What does community really mean with live streaming? My goal at the end of it, we're here right now, right? You're building a network of people, whether it's to help you with social media, whether it's to connect on a level because we went through something similar and we were talking about, and you didn't have access to people to conversate with because life's busy, or no matter where we're at, sometimes it's difficult to have someone to reach out to. And if I'm a good person and put the best version of myself out there, people will open up about that, and we will create a community of people that are positive and are comfortable and have pure intentions. And the bigger it gets, it's just the more people and you never know whether that person's going to help you with a job, help you with family advice, help you with business advice, or you're going to hang out and go on a vacation with them. I've met people who have supported me on TikTok plenty of times, and they've all been fucking phenomenal human beings. And yes, it's very different not being able to see them face to face. There's ways to go around that a little bit, but
I was, when I was hearing you, I think it's the part of the positive part of the social media, because we always want to, to find people or persons that always get to inspire us, because it's too many negativity part on the internet today. And I think the part that you're doing, like the with the funny part, with the music videos, or your exactly energy, I think is the most positive way that people want to connect with you. And I was watching the other day, I think it was on Saturday or something like that, like you were connected with all your community. You weren't doing like a single battle. It was just talking about, I remember the part of everyone was worried about yourself, that going to the doctor about the belly and everything.
Yeah.
So in this case, for example, have you ever received like a message that it touched you more than to your
Than I
heart?
already realized? 100%, yeah. And just to say on your point, as far as like the energy, what you said, it is crazy. Like on a very simple basis, the more energy you put into people or anything, I notice it goes so far. You don't have to be the smartest. You got to be hardworking. But if you put all your heart and energy into something that you truly care about, because that way there is no fake, there is no cheating, there is no like selling out. You are being so true to yourself. It's taken me further than I ever could have imagined. What was the question you asked after that? Oh, a message.
Yes, if you ever received like a kind of message that it really touched you.
Yeah. And I would never say people's personal businesses, but in, the type of context messages I've got, like, people have lost spouses, people have gotten sicknesses, and people are very busy, and it has become an outlet in their life that, is just so fast paced and they can't catch a second to themselves. But the main things are people that have, lost people to kind of out of the blue deaths and illnesses, and them telling me that, this really does cheer me up, and I would gladly support someone who can put a smile on my face and remind me what it's like to laugh when I'm in a time of losing a loved one or a family member or a friend, or going through a job loss. Like, energy and positivity, like I always say to my people, I'm not super talented, I'm not super entertaining, but in a way I guess I am. But the energy, and that's always who I've been, like energetic, and I can't stand people who like to complain. We all go through stuff, we all have traumas, and it's very valid to have conversations and figure out how to react and be better. But people that like ask for pity and remorse and stay there and stay below because of something that happened. Every single person in this room has went through something that wasn't fun, was a tragedy, was something very unfortunate. And if you take care of yourself and then you surround yourself by good people, that happened for a reason, to get you to a spot you were meant to be. So I've gotten a lot of messages just with people, honestly, a lot of loss in their life as far as people they loved, and realizing that I made a big impact on making them just feel good again.
Yes, because at the end I think it's like, like we're always with our traumas and our bad moments, and when we go to that part, I think it's like our comfort zone, like to be relaxed, to get your mind out of the way. Mm-hmm. So I know that you have a lot of energy. I have a little dynamic here, so I'm gonna give you this whiteboard.
My handwriting's terrible, I'm just letting you know.
It's okay.
Right.
It's pretty much easy. At the beginning of the podcast, you was telling that you know a little bit of Spanish.
Oh, shit.
So for our audience in Spanish, I'm gonna say a few words in Spanish, and you're gonna write it in English.
Okay.
Just if to see that you can get my, like my word, my sentence.
Yeah.
And I have a few words here. So give me one second.
Look.
We're gonna start with the easy ones.
Okay. All right. Good. At least build me up.
Okay. So we're ready.
We're ready.
We're gonna start with the easy ones. Perro.
Perro.
Ajá, perro. And you're gonna show it to your camera, so if to see, like you're writing.
Okay. Perro.
Yeah, it's the second one.
It's dog.
It's dog.
Gato. Gato is
Gato is cat. Exactly.
Gato is cat.
Okay. Um,
Right, a little
okay.
bigger.
Vamos, esta está muy difícil.
Battle. I thought he said the first one was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be hola.
Cantar.
Cantar.
Ajá.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Cantar. Voy a cantar una canción.
Like, cantar. Okay. Hopefully this makes the people at home laugh because this is potentially way off.
Don't worry, because...
Cantar. Tortillas.
No, that's the like a food like chip corn or chips, tortilla chips, something like that. Yeah, cantar is sing.
Sing?
Yeah, like
Oh.
I'm going to sing.
I wouldn't know a word that I couldn't do. It has to be like relatable.
Okay.
I can't sing, even though I try to sing sometimes.
Sombrero.
Oh, okay, easy. Sombrero is a hat.
Bravo.
That was
yeah,
easy.
that's good. Vamos a bailar. This is a sentence.
Yeah, vamos a bailar. Okay.
Vamos a bailar.
No? Let's go to the beach.
No.
Oh, vamos a la playa.
Vamos a la playa.
bar. Let me use the bathroom.
Let's go to dance.
Let's dance. Bailar.
Dance, bailar,
Bailar. Yeah. Bailar. Oh, because that
Bailar.
song that goes baila, baila, baila.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's go to the dance. I was close. That was close.
Okay, yeah, that was close.
That was very close.
And the last one, so, es la siguiente. Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Yesenia.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Hello friends.
Yes,
How are you?
that one's really good. So, if you have a mirror, what do you tell to your inner child?
It's a good question. I would tell them that I was always not from, a baby, but once I started to develop a brain cell and hit puberty a little bit, I always, whatever I was trying to do, I wanted it to work out then and there. I wanted it to happen fast. And if it didn't, I'd be so confused. I would be not good at handling a loss or not good at handling something that I wanted to work out because this is what I thought was right and what I wanted. And now I would tell myself patience comes along with that, experiencing those moments. But what I would have told myself is everything that didn't work out the way you thought it wasn't supposed to work out was actually all in your cards and in the plan the entire time. I would tell myself,
Do you get it?
I would tell my old self that what didn't work out for a reason, and it was all it all happened in a specific way for myself to be pointing in the right direction. And at the time, I used to think it wasn't happening because I wasn't good enough or I just didn't get what I wanted. But every failure is actually just a point in the right direction. So I didn't know that. So I would tell myself, take a deep breath. You weren't supposed to get this right now. There's something better on the other side of that mirror.
And I think that part is, like to go to our inner child and say the good things that we're doing at this moment, And just for closing this episode today, what is the lesson or the advice that you can give to all people watching us today when you hear the word Sueña sin límites, dream without limits? So what Matthew is going to say to all our audience?
That is a very deep question and an amazing question. I would say to the people that dream to have no limitations, and there's never a stopping point, right? But again, with whatever is going to work out for you in this world, it's probably not going to work out the first or second or third time. And if it does, that's amazing. But as long as you are passionate about it, and that being said, your passions in life will change. And then eventually you'll find something that sticks for a long time or is meant to last forever. But always don't do, I feel like you're almost wasting your time when you're doing something that you don't have a passion for. So number one, I would tell everyone, if you're trying to chase limitless possibilities for your life, figure out what your passion is first. And no matter what anyone thinks of you, no matter what anyone says, even your own family, to never stop until you learned one day, this is exactly what I wanted to do and I'm so happy now. Or it wasn't meant to be, but it's pointing you in that direction we talked about earlier, to where you're supposed to be. So find your passion, and it's very simple, but a lot of people, usually people's passion isn't what everybody else in this room wants to do. It's usually very different and maybe not normal, and that's okay, because every person is unique in their own ways. So find something you're passionate about and never let that go because of what anyone says. Keep that in your heart and find out for yourself if that was what was meant for you. And if it's not the end of the world, because you're pointed in the right direction through things that you might have thought was right for you. It all makes sense. Life is such a crazy place, man, and how the world works. And
I think always is going to pay work, you know, like paid off at that part. And just to add it, I think that if you fail, you need to get up and try it again, you know, because it's the things that we're always talking about, and the time that we always say to you, like, you need to try it, because if we don't try, we don't know how to get there, how to go to our goals and our dreams. Mm-hmm. And I know that we like to, you know, to talk a little bit more, like a few minutes, but I'm really grateful to have you today here, because I know that you lived far and you make some space onto your agenda. So I'm glad to have you here, and I hope that every single person that is watching this episode and know you much better is going to get inspired, you know, like a human being coming from yourself. So before you go, I have a gift from you from one of our sponsors here.
Oh,
so
yeah, man.
Yes, so I'm gonna give you here.
Oh, who's that handsome fella?
This is
who's
from Jandry's design. This is, I hope...
Sueña Limitless con Alberto
Lara.
And
this is a magazine from myself, from Al Sonar La Marimba. So I know that it's Spanish, but you can read it.
I'll put it on my fridge. Put it on my fridge.
So how you feel after you doing your first podcast?
I feel amazing. I just can't touch on one thing real quick that you said about failures and getting up about that just real quick, because I think it's so important. And everyone simply says you're going to fail, make sure you pick yourself up. You're going to fail. Everyone has at some point in time. It's okay to fail. Some people don't ever try anything they've actually been passionate or wanted to do in their life because they're so scared of failing, whether they're scared of losing their job, losing money, losing friends. But that is what living life really is all about. When you're nervous, when you're scared about how something's going to work out, as long as it's something you care about and it's something that you think is good for the world and good for yourself, don't be scared to fail. Because, you know, I don't know how many people are religious out there, but I truly do believe no matter what, there's a higher power that sees you trying and will take care of you. But you're supposed to fail. If you haven't failed in your life yet, you haven't even explored your passions and things you really care about. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to be down and feel a little discouraged, but it's going to happen. You're going to keep going. But don't be scared to fail. You're supposed to. You're supposed to. Good things happen when you fail. You're going to learn something, and that's going to make you better for your next thing you try.
Yes, and I think our voice deserves to be heard, you know, and like I was saying before, I'm so glad to have you today. I hope that people are like this episode. And I always remember, like, you need to subscribe to our channel and Spotify and YouTube. And like I always say to everyone, see you in the next episode of Dream Without Limits. Nos vemos en la próxima, mi gente. Se les quiere. Chao.
Chao.